let me tell you something about FYT Club. It's a 20-minute webinar, so we're running short on time. I'll be a little swift. So if you miss out something, you might want to just hang on to the recording that I will send you later and just go through a few of the things. We are going to take one app every session, and we are going to use those techniques and shortcuts to help us save time. Now, if you haven't been on our Club Excel, you know what to, what we do is I usually seek feedback from you. So what I do is I ask you to raise your hands, and those of you who raise your hands, it tells me whether you are with me and you're able to hear me properly and everything is all right. We can move forward. All right, thank you very much. You can lower your hands now. Let's move forward. So for those of you who do not know how to raise hand, there should be an option on your Zoom where it says hand. You just click on it, so I know you raise your hand, and then you just lower your hand later. And then every time I ask you whether we are good to go forward or ask you a question, raise your hand. Just use that option to do that, so I know you are with me. All right, FYT Club. FYT Club is basically free your time, and today's session we're going to talk about sending tailored auto replies to different emails. All right, let's start off. So we've done our sound and screen check. Let's move forward. Now, 28% of the day is spent reading and answering emails. And those of you who've already joined in, there's a reason why you are here. You want to save time, and you get a lot of emails, right? Now, if you calculate 28%, that's about 11 hours per week. You're spending 11 hours reading and responding to emails. That's 44 hours a month, and that's 22 full days a year. That, ladies and gentlemen, is 22 days of a year that you're spending just doing emails, right? An average business professional, they get about 126 emails every day. 77 of those emails are relevant, which means 59% of them are not. And that is about 39% of irrelevant time wasting emails. All right, so let's fix this. How do we do this? Let's focus on 5 types of emails that we're going to talk about today. One is the emails that should have never come to you. These are the emails which you don't want to read, you don't want to spend time, you don't even want to spend time a millisecond to take your cursor mouse on top of it and delete it. You don't want to do that. Then there are these types of emails which are just FYI. So, just for your information, they're not important to read now, just keep you in the loop. Then there are these emails which are not important to read as of now. You should be reading them, but it's not urgent, so you can read them later. Then we have emails with similar responses, which means there's something happening in the business, there's a project going on, and you anticipate there's a particular question going to come in from a lot of people. So you don't want to be wasting time in responding to each one of them and writing a separate email to them. You don't even want to respond to them. You let Outlook respond to them directly. And how do you do that? We're going to talk about that today as well. And then, of course, we have the important emails. So these are the emails that are important, and these are the ones which are the ones you want to be notified immediately, and you want to be able to read them on a priority. Let's move forward. So if you are with me, please raise your hands on your toolbar and we can move forward. Thank you very much. That is awesome. Right, so the 3 things you're going to remember today, and I want to simplify it, absolutely simplify it, right? The first thing you're going to do is select an email. The second thing you're going to do is select a condition. And the third thing is an action, okay? 3 things, that's all you have to remember. Select an email, what condition you want, and an action that you want. In simple words, basically this could be select an email, what do you want to do with it? if this, then this, what happens to it? Let's simplify it. And then within that, we're going to just talk about 5 conditions. The from, who is it from? A subject, if it has a certain subject to it. The body, if it has any typical phrase or a word in the body. If it's sent to you or to somebody else, and if it's you are in the CC or not, or in the two. So we're going to talk about these 5 conditions everywhere. And the actions that we can take: delete, move, forward, respond, and alert. So delete it out, throw it out of the inbox. You don't even want to see it. Move it to another folder. So you save it whenever you want to reach out to that separate folder altogether. You want to delegate it or forward it to another person who is responsible to answering that email. You respond to it directly. You have auto responses set up, and multiple auto responses. I'm not just talking about out of office. And then there are these alerts, which are my favorites, and I'm going to talk about them. Okay, first things first, if you could please open up your Outlook. I know some people are working from home and they may have a single screen. So I'm going to go slow at this point in time. And we might go just 5 or 10 minutes above our 20-minute slot, if you don't mind, just because this is the first session. So if you have opened up your Outlook and you're ready to go, please raise your hand. That is awesome. We have people who've done that. All right, let me just bring in my Outlook so that I'm with you. Now, within this Outlook, if you notice on the top bar, do you notice this particular icon? This is what we are going to be dealing with: rules. Okay, this is what you will have to do. If you cannot see this, however, there could be a situation where this is not in your ribbon on the top. Then all you need to do is right click on any email and you will see a part where it says rules. So let me just bring in my Outlook onto this so that you can see it. Please don't read my emails. Right, so what I'm saying is right click on it and rules. Okay, so this is what we're going to be dealing with today. All right, so let's move forward. Now, we are going to remember we talked about 5 actions using these 5 conditions. So let's talk about delete first. Right, let me bring in my email again, and we are going to do this. Now, what I want you to do is, I want you to open up your inbox and I want you to select one email which you've received in the last 1 week or today that you don't want to receive ever. You don't want to receive it. This is an email that you don't want it in your inbox. Okay. If you've done that, please raise your hand so I can show you what to do with it. Right. Awesome. So most people have done it. So I want you to come on to, for example, Kate Green. This is my email that I don't want in my inbox. So I will come onto this, right click on it, rules, create rule. Okay. Or I could just click on it. I could go into my rules and create rule. Now, once I click on it, this opens up. Now, what I want to do is I want to be able to say from Kate Green, and I want to move it. When I click on move it, see, when I click on move it, it opens up all of my folders in my inbox. And I want to say junk email. And I say, okay. Now it says when I get email from Kate Green, it moves into junk folder. And I press OK. Now the rule has been created. Run this rule now on the message already in the current folder, which means that any email previously that I've received ever from Kate Green will automatically go into junk folder. So if I want to do that, I click here. If I do not want to do that, if I'm talking about future emails, then I unclick it. Okay, so I check this one out. Okay. And all the emails from Kate Green in my inbox are now going into my junk as we speak, and they're gone. Okay, the emails are gone now. All right, so if you are with me and you've done this with me, please raise your hand. Great. So now we're going to go a little slower, and the reason is that it gets a little tricky, not little tricky, but a little bit more detailed as we go along. Now let's talk about why do we want to delete emails. There are two reasons basically. One is spam. You don't want that email. You're sick and tired of that email, and so you sort of route it straight to the junk folder as soon as it comes in. And the second one is you don't like the person. No. So if you have somebody who you don't like, please raise your hand. And I can't see who's raising. Yeah, okay. Now I get it. Let's move forward. Let's talk about the second action. You want to move a certain email into someplace else to keep it safe and secure. You know how, okay, let's talk about conditions. Why would you want to do that? Okay. If there's a project going on and you want to store all the emails into this particular folder separately, okay, all the project related emails. Your manager sends you emails and you want all your manager emails or your team emails into a certain folder collected all together, so you don't have to search when you're doing your searches later. And then there are these emails which require action, so you have to do something right. So you should be able to send this to a certain inbox, so a certain folder, and it stays there until you have completed it, and then it goes back. And then there are some files or some emails that you want to read, right? But when you're free, when you have time. So what you do is you save it for later. So this is a folder you can create called save it for later and direct all of these kind of emails straight into that. And we'll talk about it more in detail on Outlook. And then, of course, there are some important emails that you want to store, save for future reference. All of those, you can do that. So, and similarly, you can have these records you want to keep referring to all the time. So instead of searching it on Outlook, you can save it automatically on a separate folder. And how do we do that? Right, let's move on. Let's open up our inbox. So this is my active live inbox. The first thing you want to do is please come on to inbox, right click on your inbox and create a new folder and call it whatever the project you want. So I'm going to call it FYT Club. Okay. So if you have done that, if you have created a new folder on your inbox, please raise your hand so we can move forward. Like I said, I understand some people are working from home and they would not have two screens with them. So I'm going to go a little slower when it comes to practice. Awesome. Thank you very much. You can lower your hands now. Now, what I want to do is, let's say I've been getting emails. So as soon as somebody signs in on FYT Club, I get a new response, right? So this is my new response from Microsoft Forms that I created. So I'm going to come on to an email, which I want to go into this folder. I want to right click on it and rules, create rule. Or I can go on the top, first click on this email. That's important. Select the email, rule, create rule. All right. Now it says Microsoft Forms. I don't want that. I want, if it has this subject, I want it to move. So this is the condition and this is the action. So if it has a subject called this, and I can do more conditions. If it's from Microsoft Forms and it has a subject containing this, please move it to a folder. I will click on this drop down from my inbox. I'll select the FYT Club folder. Okay. And run this for all previous messages. Okay. And if you noticed, all of my files are now gone. Okay. And where are they now? Right here. I open up, you see this? Beautiful. I just created this folder and now all of my emails from a particular subject are now in this folder. So if I need to search up, easy, I just go into this and just search it up. Okay. So that's how easy it is. Now, if you understood this and if you're with me, you know what to do. Please raise your hand. All the new people, there is a raise hand option on your screen, on your toolbar. Please raise it so I know that you're with me and we can go forward. Thank you so much. Let's go forward. So I'm going a little back, right? So I can do from, subject, body, to, and CC. I'm going to use these in different ways, but the conditions can be used in any action. All right. So we have done these. You can create your managers folder. You can create a folder by name and say, hey, any email that comes from my manager and I am into, send it to this folder. And that's it. All your managers' emails will go onto that folder, or your team, or however you want to choose. Okay. But the most important part is first you need to create that folder to be able to do that. Got it? Okay, let's move forward. And speaking of forward, how about forwarding emails? So forwarding emails from a particular person. Now I want, let's see, we have Edwin and we have Lynette Rogers. And Edwin, you are on this webinar right now, so I need some help from you and we're going to play it live. All right. So Edwin, if you could send me an email, just a test email right now. Just send me a test email, an empty test email, and I will show you how to forward it to Lynette. Okay. So I'm waiting for you, Edwin. If you could please send me your email. All right. So I have here a test email from Edwin. Thank you, Edwin, from Indonesia. I'm going to right click it. I'm going to rule it, create rules. Now here, watch this, please. If I have, now I'm running a project and the project has a name and it's called test, for example, all right? Or it has, yeah, it has a name called text. Now this is a basic version of things. So it gives me only 3 conditions and 3 actions. But if I want advanced options, I just click here, advanced options, and it gives me a whole list of things which I can do, conditions. So I want, if the word test is in the body of the email, anywhere it says test, this is my condition. And I am going to go next. I'm going to forward it to people or group, forward it. And I need to select. Now, if I click on it, see at the bottom, it'll show me here. Now I need to click here and select who to send it to. So I will select Lynette here. Okay, now see, if my subject, if my body has the word test, forward it to Lynette Rogers, and I say next. I don't want to do anything with exceptions. Next. Turn on this rule, and I'm calling this rule test to Lynette. I can call it anything. I'm going to turn on this rule now, and I'm not going to run it for my historical test, okay, historical emails. I'm going to finish it, and it's set. Now, Edwin, what I want you to do is I want you to write me an email, and in the body of that email, just use the word test, sorry, and in the subject say checking. Okay, in the subject say checking, and in the body say test, and please send it. Now, Lynette, what I want you to do is, if you receive Edwin's email, so Edwin is sending me that email, but you should be receiving it because I've set the rule. Now, Lynette, if you receive that email, could you please forward it to me, so we can check? Okay, so Edwin has sent this email. It's called checking. It has come to me, but it also has the word test in it. So it should now be heading straight to Lynette. And Lynette, if you have received it, if you could send it, forward it to me, please, so we know that the rule has worked. So we're going to wait for, awesome. So I think I should be receiving Lynette's email. There you go. Success, ladies and gentlemen. We have received an email from Lynette. So Edwin sent an email to me. It went straight to Lynette without even me interfering. I have saved seconds. on this. So you could apply it in your folders. It's as easy. So if you are with me and if you really like this, raise your hands. Beautiful. Let's move forward. So you can lower your hands now. Thank you. Let's move forward. So we have done delete, we have done move, we have done forward using these. We have used from, subject, body, to, and CC. Let's use to and CC now. Okay. So you can use any conditions in any actions. So let's talk about, so forward is basically delegating. Let's talk about responding. Now, this is my second favorite, right? What it means is basically I have my responses created, and now I'm going to send a response to people without even me writing anything again and again. Okay. How do we do that? We're going to talk about similar responses, and let me bring back my Outlook in there. All right. So what I want to do is now, if anybody sends me an email regarding compliance training, okay, so I'll click on compliance training, set a rule, create a rule, and I will go into advanced options. So if I say the subject, or let me just say if the body of the text, so if the body, all right, with the specific text. Okay, so if I specific words in the body, that's it. That's what I was looking for. Specific words in the body. So what are those specific words? I say compliance, training, ad. I say fraud, ad. I say competition law, add. So I can add as many as I want. So if the email has any one of these, right, then what is my action? Next, I want to respond with a specific message. So this is respond with the having server reply using a specific message. And if I click, see, if I click here, then it comes at the bottom. So I need to click on this message and write. So this box opens up, and I need to say, what is the message that I need to write? Please contact IT at support, blah, 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 for in case, blah, blah, blah. You get the point, right? So I save this message. Yes. Okay. Now this message is saved. Okay. So if I was to set this, I'm going to set this now. And if you want, you just send me an email. Okay. Let me just turn it on now. Finish. Now, if you send me an email with the words compliance in the email, you will automatically get a response from my side. Okay. So I want you to try it out. Just open up your inbox, just send me an email, HASAN Hassan Danish, and you will use the word compliance or fraud in the email. And whenever you send me an email, I should be able to see that email, but you will get an auto response without me having to do anything at all on my screen. So if you've done that, I'm waiting for your emails. All right, Lynette has sent me an email. Lynette, please confirm once you, okay, here you go. A lot of people are sending in their email, and all right, done. So now what I'm going to do is, okay, so Mark and Tracy and David, Mark, Tracy, David, if you can forward the auto response, if you've received an auto response, if you can forward that to me. If you've received the auto response from my inbox, please forward it back to me so we can verify that you have received an auto response from my end. There you go. So David just sent me an email. Thank you, David. And it has the exact same thing that I typed, the nonsensical things that I typed, and David has gotten a response without me having to do anything at all. And I can also set another rule, putting all of these emails into the compliance folder. Remember that? Awesome. So we have our success. Let me just turn off that rule. And here you can learn this also. If I want to turn off the rules, I go into rules, manage alerts, and I want to be able to switch this one off because I will be receiving some emails, and I apply. Okay, done. Now you will not receive any of the auto responses because I have switched off the rule. You can switch on, switch off all the rules that you can by going here, managing rules, and selecting and removing any rule that you want. All right. So if you are with me and if you've understood, let me go forward. Please raise your hand. Beautiful. That is awesome. Most people have done that. Awesome. Great. Let's move forward. So this is the most favorite part, alerts. So what I do is, you know how you're working and you don't want to look at your emails, and then you have these typical sound that you get when you get an email. So what I usually do is, so if let's say for this purpose, Lee from right, Lee Jacobs, if you can please, right, so stand on by Lee. This is what I'm going to do, okay, everybody? Just watch. I'm setting an alert. I'm going to go into rules, create a rule, okay? If it's from Lee, then I want to see this. I want to play a selected sound. Now this opens up my, there are a lot of sound effects. I've saved the sound effect separately. So you can do that in a folder. First, save the sound effect, please. Windows also have some sound effect options. So you can go into that, okay? So let's see, I have saved this sound effect. It should be a WAV file, WAV WAV file. I have opened it now. So this is a sound which plays every time Lee sends me an email, okay? So I'm gonna say, okay, okay. And Lee, if you could please send me an email, just a test email, and we're going to check it live, whether this sound plays or not. I don't know if you were able to hear the sound because I'm on a webinar and it's the same computer. If you were able to hear the Western music, please raise your hand. Yeah, okay, awesome. So you could hear you could hear my music. Now Lee is there you go. So Lee sent me an email and automatically I know this is Lee's email. So I'm if I need to break my concentration from something, I'm gonna go straight into my inbox and check my email. So that is, isn't that something cool? Raise your hand if you think it's cool. I'm really excited about that. I don't know why. Yeah, awesome. Right, let's go and end this thing up. So we've done. This is for people's project queries. You know, you can set it up if somebody's asked you for a particular project. You can put that as a rule stating in a subject. Right. Now, I could, if you want, now Ian has asked me this question. If you want this particular WAV file, please send me an email later and I will send it across. I will set an auto response. So the word is Fight Club sound, Fight Club sound, FYT Fight Club sound. If after this session, give me 5 minutes, I will set up my rule. So if you write me an email saying Fight Club sound, you will automatically get this WAV file already in your inbox. Okay, is that cool? Raise your hand if you're okay with that. Great, let's move forward. Right, let's recap quickly what we have done so far. We have said you got to do 3 things: select email, select the condition, select an action. You have 5 conditions to make it easy. You have 5 actions to make it super easy. And for these are, you know what I'm going to do? I've worked on these slides, so I'm going to just make them into PDFs and send them as well when I'm sending the recording. So it's easier for you to just follow, and I've made it super simple on what to click where. Right. So select email, select conditions, and select action, and that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to take questions now. If you have any questions, please send them to me. If, however, we are looking for suggestions, so we have loads and loads of things already lined up for you for Fight Club. But if you feel that there is an option that in any of the application that you're using on your computer, which everybody else also uses, and you're facing some kind of issue with it, or you know some kind of tricks to save time, please reach out to me and let's share that knowledge across the board, and let's save everybody else's time. All right, thank you very much. I'm just going to go a quick poll. This is for us to understand whether we are on the right track and we are listening to you, or if we need to be better. So if we have helped you save time, and if this session has helped you in saving seconds every single day out of those 38.8% of your time that you waste on emails. All right, awesome. We have your feedback. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon. For questions, send me an email. I'll send you a response. For the WAV file, as I said, give me 5 minutes. I'll set up my rules, and the secret word is Fight Club Sound. Fight Club Sound. And if you write that word, FYT Fight Club Sound, and you will get the email with the WAV file. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for your time. See you soon.